Welcome back, students. Now the second video on the Viva on the liver is in relation to its peritoneal relation. So we will have some questions which are usually asked in relation to the peritoneum reflection onto the liver. Most of the part of the liver is covered by the peritoneum. But then the examiner may also ask you which are the part which are not covered by the peritoneum. And then you should reply like this, that there is a bare area of the liver onto the superior surface and posterior part of the right surface of the liver. There is a bare area which is not covered by the peritoneum. Okay. And this is on the posterior aspect of the right lobe. You can see here, this is the anterior portion of the peritoneal reflection, which is here is the bare area, which is not, this is the posterior boundary or the posterior aspect, which is not covered by the peritoneum. So this much part is the bare area of the liver, which is on the posterior aspect of the right lobe, and almost it is a triangular area which is not covered by the peritoneum. That is the first area which you should tell or answer that it is not covered by the peritoneum. Then the second area which is not covered by the peritoneum is the fossa for the gallbladder, because the peritoneum comes here and then just covers the surface of the gallbladder and reflects onto the other side, so that the fossa in which this gallbladder is lying is not covered by the peritoneum. Similarly, the groove for the inferior vena cava, here this is the inferior vena cava in which I am passing my finger here. This groove of the inferior vena cava, which is on the posterior aspect of the liver, this groove is also not covered by the peritoneum. Then there is a groove for the ligamentum venosum. You can see here, this is the ligamentum venosum, in the bottom of which there will lie the folds of the peritoneum, which will ultimately form the laceromentum. Okay. See this, these are the folds which are at the bottom, if you can see here. See this in my forceps, this is, and this is the continuous horizontally, okay, or at right angle with the layers of the peritoneum covering the structures which are going into the porta hepatis. So this is porta hepatis, which is covered by the folds of peritoneum, and the same folds of peritoneum, they go into the fissure for the ligamentum venosum. So these are the structures which are, and ultimately this porta hepatis, which I said that the same folds which are coming from ligamentum venosum are also covering to the structures of the porta hepatis. These are the structure. This is the portal vein. Then on to the right side, this is the bile duct, okay, and then this is the hepatic artery, okay. So the hepatic artery is on to the left side, and that the portal vein, this portal duct, the bile duct. The bile duct is on to the right side, and this portal vein is lying posterior to these two in anatomical position. So these structures which are going in the porta hepatis, they are also covered by peritoneum all around, and hence they are not, this area of the porta hepatis is not covered by the peritoneum. Okay, then there may be another question which may be in relation to the ligaments. Usually the false ligament of the liver, they are nothing but the folds of the peritoneum which are attached onto the surface of the ligament. One of the important ligament which I showed you, which is also not a true but a false ligament, okay, in last video I have said that this is the falciform ligament which extend from the umbilicus here. See this was the umbilicus, and on its, the sickle shaped ligament on its free margin is extending here, where is the ligamentum teres is there, and this the fold of this peritoneum, double fold, is attached to the anterior abdominal wall right from the umbilicus up to the diaphragm. Then it is attached to the diaphragm, and then it reflects onto the right and left lobe of the liver. Second ligament, which is called as the coronary ligament, which is a ligament which is just onto the bare area of the liver. Okay, so this coronary ligament connects the bare area of the liver to the diaphragm. This is the upper layer, and this will be the lower layer of that triangular area which is covering to the, which is, I mean, say, by the side of the bare area. So this upper layer of the peritoneum, it comes from the diaphragm, and then it reflects onto the liver, and then it goes to the superior and the anterior surface. Similarly, the lower layer, it comes from the liver to, and then it goes on to the kidney, okay, of the this coronary ligament. So this is the coronary ligament is there. Then there will be the triangular ligament, and it is the right triangular ligament. You can say that if you will trace this upper and the lower layer of the coronary ligament, it will end into the right triangular ligament. Similarly, there will be the left triangular ligament here, which will be going towards the superior surface of the left lobe. So this is that left triangular ligament is here, which is attached also to the diaphragm. Then there will be a ligament which is called as the lesser omentum, okay, which extend, as I said, from the porta hepatis, covering to the structure of the porta hepatis, and from the fissure for ligamentum venosum, okay, it will go to the lesser curvature of the stomach. Okay, from this area it will go to the lesser curvature of the stomach, and this fold of the peritoneum is called as the lesser omentum. Okay, these are just the folds of peritoneum, hence they are sometimes called as the false ligament. But then the question may be, if these are the false ligament, which are the true ligaments of the liver? Then you can say that there are only two ligaments of the this liver which may be considered as a true ligament, and this is that in the free margin of this falciform ligament, this strong ligament, that is ligamentum teres, which is going towards the fissure for the ligamentum teres here, coming from the umbilicus. So this is that, and it represents the obliterated remnant of the obliterated left umbilical vein. Okay, so this is that ligamentum teres. And another true ligament is here inside the fissure for the ligamentum venosum, and that is the remnant of the obliterated ductus venosus, which connects the branch of portal vein to that of the inferior vena cava, which is going here. Then, and another question, which is important question asked usually in the Viva, is that what are the relations of the viscera with the liver, that is on the inferior surface of the liver, which are the visceral relation or the other organs related on the inferior or visceral surface of the liver. Now this is the left lobe of the liver, okay, and if you want to keep it here in anatomical position, okay, this will be something like this. Okay, if you keep, this is the right lobe and this is the left lobe. Okay, this is the quadrate lobe and this is the caudate lobe. The fissure, I mean say this is the fossa for the gallbladder is there. Now it will be easier to remember what are the relations. Let us see here. Now, from the left side comes the esophagus, abdominal esophagus, which soon becomes the fundus and the body of the stomach. So this is the gastric area of the liver. So it is in relation to that of the stomach. And which surface of the stomach? It is the antero-superior surface of the stomach is related here in this. And soon it will form the pyloric part of the stomach. So this quadrate lobe of the liver is in relation to that of the pyloric part of the stomach, and then it crosses the fossa for the gallbladder, that means it is in relation to the gallbladder. That will be the first part of the duodenum, and then it will come on the right side of the gallbladder fossa, where it is the, I mean to say, the right, I mean say first part of the duodenum is turning to become the second part of the duodenum. That area comes in this relation to this area here, just left or right to that of the gallbladder fossa. Okay, then there will be the relation here near the inferior border on the right lobe of the liver, will be the relation of the right colic flexor, and the right colic flexor is coming from here and going towards the left side, and this is the impression of the colon, okay, transverse colon and colic flexor, okay, colic flexor and just above this area is in relation to that of the kidney, and that is the right kidney, okay, it is the right kidney, and above the right kidney this area will be in relation to that of the suprarenal gland. And if you trace this above the kidney and suprarenal, then it will continues, okay, on the posterior surface as the bare area of the liver, okay, bare area of the liver. So these are the visceral relation, okay, here. And then there is one more structure which you has, there is an impression or bump is here onto the left lobe of the liver, okay, which is just onto the left side of the fissure for the ligamentum venosum, okay, and this is called as the tuber omentalis. It is called as tuber omentalis because it lies deep to the lesser omentum, hence it is called as tuber omentalis, are not of any significance, okay, not. So these are the impression. If you see other impressions, I mean say relation on the superior surface, it is in relation to the diaphragm, and this concave central part, it is in relation to that of the central tendon of the diaphragm, which is in relation to that of the pericardium, okay, it is in relation to the pericardium. Most of the biopsies of the liver, he may ask, is taken from which area? So the biopsies of the liver is taken from the right lateral surface by inserting a needle between the 9th and 10th intercostal space, because 9th and 10th intercostal space is safe because there is no reflection of the pleura is there, especially in the 10th intercostal space, okay. It is the most dependent part, and then easily the needle can go to the liver without puncturing the pleural cavity with the pleura. Another important clinical aspect which can be asked is that what is the most important condition of the liver, clinical condition, and it is said to be the fibrosis of the liver, okay, post hepatitis, okay, viral hepatitis, fibrosis of liver, which may obliterate the venous drainage from the portal vein, and that may lead to the accumulation of the fluid in the peritoneal cavity, okay, that is ascites. It is called as the ascites. I hope that this many questions are enough, okay, for the Viva at undergraduate level. Thank you very much for watching this short video on the Viva of the liver.